we're going to be word detectives. And to be a word detective, you need to think about a word and then you need to link it with anything else that you might know. And I know with Mrs. Pickup in the class, you've been doing these word maps, you've been looking around the word and you've been using your prompt cards. The PTV group might be using these. And I know you've seen these word prompts. You've got yours hanging over there. This is a way you can be a word detective. Because as brilliant as Mrs. Pickup is, as a wonderful, best teacher in the world, she can't teach you the 1,000 words you possibly need to learn while you're in year 4. But you can all do it by yourself, by thinking and linking. So, we've decided to use one of your pictures from your rainforest topic. Can all of you now look at that picture and think about words that will come to mind when you look at that picture? No hands rule. I'm giving you a few seconds to think and then I'm going to choose. Don't worry if you can't think of a word. You'll say, I have to think about it. I haven't learnt that yet. No hands rule, remember. Everybody thinking about the same thing. What do you think when you see that picture? What words come to mind? Green. Lovely. Green. Okay, green. What do you think? Sorry? Maize. Maize, as in the crop that you can eat.
No, the one that you got from.
Oh, a maize. Sorry, sweetheart. A maize. Yeah, well, it does look like a maize, doesn't it? What do you think?
Colourful.
Colourful. Lovely. It's colourful. So we've got some hills here. We've got some wood. We look like we've got a little bit of desert here. We've got a lot of vegetation there. We've got another wood and a park. No hands rule, sweetheart. Sitting on the chair there.
There's quite a lot of trees.
There's a lot of trees. There's a lot of trees. Can you think of a word when you look at that? There's some woods there, isn't there? Can I come back to you in a minute? Can you think of a word to go with those pictures?
Lots of flowers.
Lots of flowers. There's lots of flowers. They're different places, aren't they? Can you tell me one of the names for one of those places, honey?
Lots of leaves.
There's lots of leaves. There's lots of leaves. No hands rule yet, sweetie.
Colourful.
These are colourful. What sort of places are these?
Rainforest and.
There's a rainforest. Fantastic. We're talking about different places. There's a rainforest. There's a desert. Do you think animals and plants and people live in these different places? Think.
Yeah.
Do you think they live in all the different ones?
Yeah. Oh no. Some of them.
Do you want to say, sweetie?
No. Some of them must be dogs.
Some places they might live, animals and people live. Other places, animals might not live there, people might not. So they can use the habitat to live in, okay, to live in. And like you say, they can play in it, they can have picnics. What else can plants and animals and creatures do in habitats? Think and link.
Some animals might live in the rainforest.
Some animals might live in the rainforest. We're going to our next prompt. So hold that, okay? They live in that. Some animals do live in the rainforest. What else do people and animals do in a habitat? They live there.
They eat there.
They can eat there. They can eat. They sleep. They live there. So, word detectives, now then, where can we find the different habitats?
In a tree.
You said it just a little bit before.
Some
The rainforests. Good, so we can go from a rainforest, which is huge. It's big. It's big. Mrs. Pickup, are we talking about macro environments or just going to go big to little trees?
Yeah.
So we can live in a rainforest, and that's a big habitat. And all the creatures and animals that live there will be special because of the weather, the climate. And you could then go to looking at a habitat for just trees, a tree in your garden. Think about some other habitats different animals may live in. Think and link, and I will ask. Think of a habitat. Anything go on? We could be in the trees and in the leaves, couldn't they? Could they just have a habitat for some just living in that tiny, tiny little habitat of leaves in the trees? They could be in the emergent layer of your rainforest. Well done. I like the fact that you are using your knowledge of that rainforest. There are different habitats in the emergent layer of your rainforest. There'll be different habitat for the understory. There'll be different habitats for when they're on the forest floor. Think about habitats you might have in this school.
Classroom.
You have a habitat in a classroom. You might have your pond. You might have a habitat of a pond. I will just leave that, the technology bit.
Yeah.
You might have a habitat of a pond. They're all different. All habitats come from different places. Goes from a tree, a little areas of leaves, to look at the emergent layer of a rainforest. You might get a habitat in a desert, where you get snakes. Well done, I heard somebody saying something. So habitats are where different plants, different creatures and people live, and it will all depend on what the climate's like, and they're all different. And at the minute you're studying the habitat of the rainforest, where it's very hot, very wet, very humid, and because of that, certain plants and animals will be able to grow there, and they certainly wouldn't grow in Darwin, because it's too cold some of the time, and it's a different climate. So word detectors, now this is a tough one to think and link. What category would we put the word habitat? Where would you store it in that computer brain? Which file would you put it in? Would you put it, the word habitat, with food?
No.
That you eat?
No.
Transport, travelling?
No.
No. Animals?
Yeah.
Yeah, something to do with animals, isn't it? So, think and link. What sort of thing is habitat? What sort of thing is it? Where would you file that in your head? What category? Think and link. Think and link. Who should I choose, Mrs. Pickup? Who should I choose? They've all been wonderful.
Kyra?
It can go in the animal one.
It's to do with animals, isn't it? What is it about the animals? A habitat. You can live in it, and where do you live in it? What do we call it? It's a... You put your hand up, sweetheart. Put your hand down in a minute, we'll come back and ask, okay? Can you all think? Go on then, your turn now.
A habitat where you live.
It's where you live. It's where you live. It's a place, isn't it? Well done, sweetheart. It's a place, I'm so sorry, where people, animals, creatures, I don't know what I'm doing to this board. Just leave that one. Well done, sweetheart. It's special. The habitat is where plants and animals live. And you're looking at the rainforest. But we could have a habitat in school, we could have our garden area, we can have a pond. Those will be little habitats. You could even have the tree as a habitat for certain creatures. The next thing I want you to do now, if you have a look, I've done this, I've written in green. Okay? Green for what it means. That's all about about the word, we're actually doing a definition of that word. What do you do with it? Where do you find it? What sort of thing it is? Now, to help you remember that word, we're going to do sounds of the word. And I'm going to change my colour of pen to red, because it's red for what is said. So, word detectives, the first thing I want you to do and listen to. Habitat. Clap for me, please. And again. How many beats? How many beats?
3.
How many syllables?
3.
3. Do it again for me, please.
Habitat.
3 syllables. Okay. The next thing you need to do is all of where you were detectives, I want you to think about the sound habitat begins with, because that's how you're going to find a word. Okay, are you ready? Think and blink. We'll all do it together. 1, 2, 3. Then finally, word detectives, we think about the size of the word. Is it a short word? Is it a short word like cat? Is it a medium-sized word like table? Or is it a longer word like caterpillar? Think and link. Just think short, medium, or long. Don't call out. Don't call out. I want you to show me. Show me. Quite a long word, isn't it? Because it's got 3 syllables, 3 beats. Now, word detectives, the next thing, we're coming back to this one, and we're going to make some rhyme up. I'm going to take the from habitat. All of you now think about the sound your name begins with, not its letter name. I want the sound it begins with, and I'm going to see if I can borrow it. Mrs. Pickup, could you find me somebody whose name begins with a consonant, please? Because we're going to have to.
Polly.
But it will be the same.
Or the same, or something different. Rider.
Where are we? So what's the beginning sound? That says r, r. So I'm going to take r, r. Habitat, rabitat. I've made a new word up, okay? Habitat, rabitat. What's your beginning sound? D, d. Habitat, rabitat, dabitat. All of you are going to be doing this. All of you are going to be doing this. Last one on the table then.
A.
Next letter,
Long one.
please.
A. D.
D. We've got a dabitat already. Can you give me another letter?
M.
M. Habitat, rabitat, dabitat, mab. Mabitat. I have made up rhyming words. Okay? I have made up some rhyming words. Thank you, sweetheart. It's all right. I forgot. Thank you. We're making up new rhyming words. Habitat, rabitat, dabitat, mabitat. Now, the last thing to help you remember this word is we need to do a word song or a word rap. Now, this is where my PTV has come in. Also, children, let's see you sitting up, please. Like tight and bright. Let's get some air in those lungs. Are we ready? PTVs, join in. The word of the day is habitat. 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 The word of the day is habitat. Listen for the rainforest word habitat. Oh, that was muffling. Right. Like tight and bright. Listen for the rainforest words. Well done. What you're going to do now, word detectives, is you are going to make your own word knowledge map. Now, because these prompts are so big, there's no way can we have them on the tables. So you have a word wheel on your table, and all these prompt cards are very small. You are going to write your own word knowledge map. Now, I have only done 7 of the prompt cards. There There's 2 I've missed and you've got to do it yourselves and find them. I'm not going to help you because you need to be independent learners. When you go to your tables, you will have a sheet with the picture of habitat in front, on the middle. And you're going to have a go at writing in pencil your word knowledge. These are word knowledge maps. Have a go round the picture. You can choose where you start. This is your word